Hey, it's Randy. Something a little different in this video. Thought I would just share with you what it is I carry with me daily on my bike rides. I'm gonna find a place to pull over and have some coffee, and then we'll get to it. Today I'm riding my Specialized stump jumper. I guess we'll start with what it is I carry everything in, which is a Timbuk2 backpack. I think I've got 3 of these. Anyway, really happy with these Timbuk2 bags. I used to carry everything in messenger bags, but years ago I switched over to a backpack. Okay, on the outside of the bag, let's see. I always carry a hat. And if I'm out for coffee, carry my mug. Air fresheners that I pick up on the side of the road. This is a mix of rubbing alcohol and aloe vera. And I find it handy for all kinds of things. Cleaning up my hands after I've had to put a chain back on the bike or fix a flat. For wiping gunk off of the picnic tables. Just all kinds of uses for this. So it's really handy to carry. We'll start with this outer pocket. Got a Sharpie that I found alongside the road. Grocery sacks, picking up trash or covering a leather saddle if it's raining, all kinds of uses for these. And some of our stickers, rubber band. Yeah. Napkins, and these coffee cuff koozie things, whatever they are. In the main compartment, got a U-lock. I don't always carry this. If Nova and I are riding together, she's kind enough that she'll generally carry this on the rear rack of her bike. But if I'm solo, I'll generally have this lock or a cable lock. A reusable grocery sack for when we stop at the store. This is kind of one of the taller bags. I'll tell you what, these fit really well in the walled 137 baskets, and you can even kind of roll the top down on them. Bug repellent. If I know I'm going to be out in the woods, I'll apply some at home, but if I forget or need to reapply, I carry this with me. Sunscreen, kind of the same thing there. I put sunscreen on before I leave every morning, but if I need to reapply it, or I have forgot to put it on, then I've got it with me. Just some smelly good spray that I'll douse myself in before I head into a grocery store or brewery or coffee shop, whatever. Got this fork spoon combo. I didn't always carry it in a Ziploc bag. I loaned it to Nova once, and after her first bite, she said it tasted like bug spray. So I don't know whether this went off in my bag and got it on the fork. So now I carry it in that bag. Got an inflatable little seat cushion. This is by Climate, and that can come in handy if you want to sit somewhere that's either wet or just hard or uncomfortable. Okay, this bag that my mother made me. Just got the Ziploc bag, some Velcro straps if I ever need to strap anything to the bike, ibuprofen, backup battery, and some cords, whatever, power adapter, can opener, spare contact lenses, that's very important. Lighter, and a multi-tool that I found alongside the road. That's that. Okay, next up I think is tools. Got a pretty good multi-tool here. It's got, you know, everything you need, I believe. Even got a chain breaker, and I've had to use that a few times. I've had this forever. It was a gift made by Alien, I think that's what it says. Got a patch kit, some zip ties, and adjustable wrench. Pump. Oh, and one thing I'm not carrying that I generally always carry is a spare tube. I guess I forgot to replace the tube last time I used it. I carry a 26-inch inner tube in this bag at all times, most all time, because most of my bikes are 26-inch wheeled. For my bikes that don't have 26-inch wheels, I carry the appropriate tubes for those bikes on the bikes themselves, generally in a small little under saddle bag. So, one other thing that I carry that's not in the bag is this little Joby tripod. Now, I recently had someone ask what I thought like the bare minimum a person should carry when riding their bike. And that would be, you know, all the tools you would need. So a multi-tool, a good multi-tool, a patch kit, and I really don't have any recommendations on any particular patch kit. And since I ride a lot of vintage bikes, I carry an adjustable wrench, so you may or may not need that. Some way to air up your tire, whether it be a pump or CO2 cartridge, and of course a spare inner tube. And that's probably bare bones minimum what a person I think would need to carry on their rides. So the advantages of a backpack is you can get a lot of stuff in there, as I've just shown. It's pretty secure on your back. It doesn't affect the handling of the bike. I mean, I've carried, I think, bike frames, wheels, all kinds of things strapped to the back of the backpack. So that's pretty handy. Also, you can just grab it and go on any bike. That's probably the main reason I wear the backpack, because I don't have to move a bag from bike to bike or move the, I can just throw this on and hop on any bike and I've got everything I need. A lot of my bikes do have baskets. I could put the backpack in the basket, but it's just doesn't fit all that well and it's not as secure there, and it affects the handling of the bike, so I just prefer to wear it on my back. I could get a specific bag for a basket, but then again, not all my bikes have baskets. And then when you stop to run into the store, if you got a basket bag, you have to worry about whether to bring it in or if it's safe to leave it in the basket. The big drawback to the backpack is just having the weight on your back, I suppose, even though I'm just so used to it, I don't even notice, but just sweating. I sweat a lot as it is, but this makes it even worse. I recently bought a small handlebar bag and thought I would try that. Of course, all this won't fit in that bag, so I would really have to thin things down to that, maybe to that bare minimum I talked about earlier. But God, I'm just so used to having all this stuff with me, and the backpack, just wearing the backpack is, kind of like a security blanket to me. So I think that covers everything. I'd be curious to know what all you carry on your rides and what you carried in. So let me know down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.